I personally don't like games that get compared to each other just because they have a few similarities. For instance, Just Cause 3 and GTA 5. These games have some small things that make them similar, like their open world, the use of guns/weapons, and have a wide variety of vehicles that you can use on land, sea, and air. And another thing that makes them quote-unquote comparable is the graphics, but in my opinion, this is really where it all ends. Just Cause 3 has a very simple story. If anything, it's kinda shallow. You play as the protagonist Rico, who helps some rebels overthrow the dictator General Di Ravello by liberating cities and blowing up government buildings like power plants and refinery stations. However, this does get old rather quickly and can lead to the player getting bored. Just Cause 3 helps tackle that by giving you side missions which can range from killing a secret informant working for the general or helping you deliver cargo to rebel outposts. There are challenges that you can also do, and when getting a good score rewards you with mods that you can use to alter your gaming experience. Not to mention, you're equipped with a grappling hook that you can use to tether things to each other, and you can use to pull yourself when using a wingsuit, allowing for faster travel. This is, however, quite tricky to get the hang of, but once you do, it'll be a lot of fun. Now that's basically the premise of Just Cause 3. Now on to GTA 5. The game puts you in the perspective of three characters, a pretty young gangster known as Franklin, and two bank robbers known as Trevor and Michael, who had a little fallout and are now working together to rob the Union Depository. But before you get to that point, you have a bunch of missions and setup missions which are backed by an amazing story which provide for nearly 30 continuous hours of gaming. And that's just the main story itself. There are tons of side missions which don't really affect the core gameplay that much, unlike in Just Cause 3 with theirs. So now we have both games summed up, where can we compare these two? The graphics on both these games look beautiful, however, Just Cause has one of the worst optimizations that require quite a powerful PC to run it at above 60 FPS on the highest settings. This becomes quite apparent when in areas with a lot of enemies and explosions, so that's just something to note if you plan on getting the game. The story can't really be compared as they are set in the perspectives of different people that don't share a lot of similarities. Well, what about gameplay mechanics? Although both games have a wide variety of vehicles and weapons to choose from, they're not the same. Cars in Just Cause 3 have the most horrible handling and it's just an overall nightmare. And that's understandable. The map is huge and it's more than 4 times the size of GTA. The game encourages you to use your wingsuit to explore. However, air vehicles, while they don't control similarly, are absolute fun to use, and that's something that the two games have in common. Guns in the game are basically like every game. There's nothing much to them, but I will say that I think GTA 5 has better gun mechanics. They just feel better to play with. So all in all, the games really aren't all that much the same, and the comparisons I pointed out are so basic that it's not even worth talking about. Another thing that I failed to mention was multiplayer. While Just Cause 3 does have a multiplayer mod, it's not officially supported and doesn't have any missions or anything like what GTA 5 has. It's fun, but gets boring pretty quick. So to wrap this up, these games are pretty different and it's unfair to compare them to each other. They both cater to different playstyles and offer different experiences.